Ilhan Omar just completely lost her mind on live TV after President Trump called criminal Somalis garbage. But today, it wasn't Trump who checked her. It was another African immigrant, and she went off. Went off with a reality check that Omar couldn't cash. Let me show you exactly what happened.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations a shithole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a black immigrant community that is also Muslim. But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says we are nationals of this country. We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have not been settled in Minnesota. We chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming. And we are going to be here regardless of what the president has to say.
I agree. I love the tweet.
Okay. Ilhan Omar always goes straight to the script, y'all. Racist, bigot, xenophobic, the whole bingo card, right? But notice something. She never actually defends the behavior Trump is talking about. I'm just saying, fraud, welfare abuse. Sure, I always mess it up. Is this Sharia? Is this Sharia? Sharia? I always mess it up. I called it Shahara at first, but Sharia demands. All right, I'm about to go to Google Translate. But she skips all of it because the moment she acknowledges the problem, her entire political identity, it collapses. So she pretends Minnesota is welcoming and everyone criticizing her community is just hateful. But I want you to watch what happens when a real African immigrant, someone who worked for everything, speaks up.
Part 2 of my question to Somalis refugees in America. After you went to all this country and nobody could take you in, the United States took you in, and all you can do is to try to tear their country apart. All you do is to steal from them. All you do is to put your religion on them. Meanwhile, not taking into consideration that there are other African refugees here. You muddy the water for every other refugees. You come over here as a refugee, but you fail to realize that it's not a right, it's a privilege. Yes, when somebody opened their doors to you and say, come and live in my house, that the same way they open the door, they also have the right to kick you out. It's not a right, it's a privilege. You are not African American. You were refugees. You were refugees. Even your children born here can be deported. Because the citizenship law was not passed for you. It was passed for the African American and their ancestors and their children. So you and I, having it is a privilege, it's not a right. But where you forgot all of that. You came into the country, you live on free food, free home, free education. Meanwhile, the black American who fought for it suffered. They suffered. They hardly get the opportunity that you get. But in return, what do? You turn around and shout, Allahu Akbar. You shout you want to bring Somalia to America. If you love Somalia that much, why don't you ask for voluntary repatriation? The UN can repatriate you to Somalia, any part of Somalia you want, and go fight and make Somalia a better place. But like I said, we immigrants will not be silent. We will speak against you. And for those from the Middle East, other Middle Eastern refugees will stand up. But I will say this, you Somalis have become an embarrassment for us Africans living in the U.S. You Somalis have embarrassed us Africans living in the U.S. You have embarrassed every other refugees from Africa that is living here on temporary status? Do you ignore that countries went through war and they granted them temporary status and they've been living here? Do you understand? When was the last time you saw Guinean trying to bring Guinea culture to America? When was the last time you saw Liberians, Sierra Leone, and Ivorians trying to bring their country culture over here to impose it on American? We don't. Only you, Somali, do. Only you believe that you must overthrow the government of America and turn America into Somalia and turn America into Islamic country. And for you, Omar, I pray you get deported, you and your brother. I pray that both of you get deported, and I pray you two be the first. And I appreciate the Trump administration for suspending the temporary protection status for all Somalis. And I'm glad that they did not say all. I'm glad that President Trump did not say everyone on temporary protection status. I'm glad that they selected you guys out. And it is time for the rest of us that are here from Africa on temporary protection status to distance ourselves from the Somali community for their behavior. They're not going to drag us into this. We are not here for that. We are here on protection and wanting to live a better life and help our family back home. So if you Somalis think that you're going to be the one that will cause harm to the rest of us African living here as immigrants, we will take the Somali community to court. Trust us, we will.
Now, this right here is the difference between a grateful immigrant and an entitled refugee politician. Let me get back in focus. Now, she said what everybody else is scared to say. America isn't required to let you stay. It's not a requirement. It's not a birthright, right? It's not a guarantee. The U.S. took people in when nobody else wanted them. And instead of gratitude, we get demands, nonstop accusations of racism and open hostility towards the country that fed, housed, and educated them. This is why Omar panicked, because voices like this, voices like this woman shut down the entire victim narrative quickly. Now, I want you to watch what else is happening out there in Minnesota.
Not comfortable sometimes, because when I drive, when I'm sitting somewhere, not comfortable like before.
She says the president's recent focus on the Somali community is unnerving.
What he said, we've affected all communities. We know some people, they make fraud, but not all. Not comfortable sometimes.
Okay.
Because
See the pattern? Every time Trump walks into the conversation, suddenly everybody's not comfortable. But she also accidentally told the truth. Some of us make fraud. Exactly. Some, not all, but Ilhan Omar's entire political career, depends on pretending that some don't exist. The rest of the country just watched over 250 million stolen in a Feeding Our Future scandal. People aren't imagining this. It's real. And wait until you see this next clip, because the entitlement jumps from I don't feel comfortable to we're outworking Americans and you're just jealous.
You know, like the racists are actually just jealous of Somalis because of how successful we became in a matter of one generation. And I was watching a lot of videos that are coming up on my For You page where people are saying, how come Somalis have nice cars and we don't? We've been here like how many generations? We were born here, our ancestors are from here, but Somalis drive nice cars. This whole thing is just making me realize is jealousy. They're jealous of our success because they expect us like to be at the bottom of the bottom, right? And then we come here one generation, we work hard, we save our money. And Somalis are not the only community that committed fraud, okay? We're not all committing fraud, okay? Every community has bad apples, but they're trying to use that as leverage to hate on us, right? And attack our community. But what it is like when you're an immigrant group and you're Black on top of that and you're African, they hate you to be successful. They hate you to be successful. Now, if we were like European immigrants, like maybe Bosnians who are Muslims or Russians, and they become successful, nobody would blink an eye because they're white. But the fact that we're brown people from Africa, you know what I mean? It kills them. Because the way we move, we don't move like we're inferior to anybody, right? And it's bothering them. And our name has reached the White House. That's how powerful the Somali community is. Wallahi, I have this thing where if Somalis work together, the only problem Somalis have is like, we need to build our country back. Wallahi billahi, we could have been like we could have been a superpower nation. How gifted Allah has made Somalis in making money, in being successful, in being able to see opportunity everywhere they go. All right, so there's this like guy on my For You page, and he was talking about, I used to be a handyman, and I see Somalis, they all have nice cars. And then, the hate comments were down there, deport them, do this, do that. And let me tell you something, the reason why we have nice cars, nice clothes, we look good, we're shining, we're doing that, is because we work and we don't spend our money on nonsense. We don't spend our money on like the latest fashions, the latest wigs, the latest whatever. We save our money and we work as a family unit. We're not individualistic. We work as communities. We save our money and we help each other make big purchases that way. Somali community is very tight-knit. American culture is very individualistic. Everybody you're alone, you're expected to do everything yourself. In a Somali community, we work together. That's how we became successful fast. And we took, the opportunities that were given to us in this country. Is that wrong? Many immigrants before us did it. Why can't we do it? And now we're being punished for being successful too fast. That's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And now they're trying to come at our community, deport them, do this to them. Even Somalis, wherever we go, we're still going to be successful. Even if you deport them, they can still make money. Wallahi. And you guys will still be in the U.S. broke, living paycheck to paycheck.
This is what a whole story flips. They tell us we grind harder. We don't take handouts. We're thriving because of hustle. Meanwhile, 42% relying on food assistance, massive welfare program strain. Fraud cases are exploding. And whole neighborhoods rejecting American culture together. Now, the problem, I think, isn't success, right? The problem is lying about how their success was built while calling Americans racist for noticing it. And that brings us to the most important clip of them all, because this isn't just cultural tension. Some people in these communities openly reject American law, American values, and even American safety.
This is the Cedar Riverside neighborhood of Minneapolis. Do you feel more comfortable living under American law, or do you feel more comfortable living under Sharia law?
Sharia.
Sharia law. I'm a Muslim. I prefer Sharia law. Right. Sharia law, yes.
You prefer Sharia law over American law?
Of course, yeah. Of course, yeah.
And do you find most of your friends feel the same way?
Yeah, of course. If you're Muslim, yeah.
He can make his daughter marry somebody.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. He has the authority,
The authority to do that.
Yeah, to do that. Yeah.
So here, how young do you think it's okay?
Yeah, 15.
Is it right to kill somebody who insults Muhammad?
Yeah, because she is just she hate the religion. I understand, but she shouldn't pick up the prophet.
So you understand why people would want to attack her?
Yeah.
If you had a choice, would you rather live here or would you rather live in a Muslim country?
I'd rather live in a Muslim country with my people.
Would you prefer to live in America or prefer to live in Somalia?
For me, I think it's Somalia.
I would rather live in Somalia.
I'm not Americanized. I just speak fluent, and you know what I mean. I'm articulate, and I can articulate what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean. That's about it. But other than that, I mean, as far as my culture and my preferences and everything, it's still Somali. You know what I mean.
Even though here you have all the freedom and stuff like that.
And even though I have all the freedom,
Do you think life might be better in Somalia than here?
because now you have the freedom of it of practicing your religion while working and doing your other things.
This is the reality Ilhan Omar refuses to talk about. When you have people openly preferring, I just learned it, Sharia law. Now it's not funny, but yeah, when you have people openly preferring Sharia law, supporting child marriage, calling for violence if someone insults their prophet, and saying America should be more like Somalia, then Trump calling criminals garbage isn't controversial. It's common sense. I'm gonna tell y'all again, America is not obligated to destroy itself to protect someone's feelings. And the real African woman from clip 2 that y'all saw, she said it best. Refugee status isn't a right. It's a privilege. And if you spit on a country that saves you, don't be shocked when that privilege disappears. Now, Trump isn't the problem. He's the response to the problem. Minnesota is finally waking up. And the panic you're seeing from Ilhan Omar, that's what accountability looks like. So, if you made it to the end of this video, I want y'all to write garbage. Yeah. Y'all be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.